Hey everyone, so this is my spoiler-free review of Brahmāstra and there's a giveaway at the end, so stay tuned. There's several soft spots in Brahmāstra, but lack of ambition isn't one of them. Writer-director Ayan Mukerji is attempting to carve a new path for Indian cinema. He's constructing the Astraverse, a 3-film superhero universe to rival the MCU. Brahmāstra tries to do many things. It's trying to marry Hindu mythology and Amar Chitrakatha style storytelling about ancient beings and astral weapons with Marvel style world building, world-class special effects and this modern sensibility. This is a film peppered with references to gods and goddesses. The hero is named Shiva and the heroine Isha, which is another name for Parvati. But the religiosity is infused with a trendy sensibility. So Shiva might live in a chal, but his job is undeniably cool. He's a DJ. The styling is on point with clothes that could feature in Vogue magazine, courtesy Anahita Shroff Adajania and Samida Wangnu. And the dialogue by Hussain Dalal is determined to make the overall plot both accessible and contemporary. So there's this one scene in which Shiva is saying to Guru, the Yoda-like teacher figure played by Amitabh Bachchan, "Aap to ekdam rock star nikle." In another scene, Guru is telling Shiva, किसी भी अस्त्र को ऑन होने के लिए चलाने वाले को भी ऑन होना चाहिए अंदर से. Now, does this mashup of Prachin Kal and modern work? Yes and no. Brahmāstra starts on a high note. There's a spectacular action sequence which includes a cleverly placed superstar cameo that establishes the stakes. Do take note of the name of this character, which invokes one of the actor's most acclaimed performances. The bad guys are chasing the 3 halves of the Brahmāstra, the ultimate weapon of creation and destruction. For centuries, a secret society called the Brahmansh has looked after these various astras and kept the Brahmāstra shant. But the baddies, led by a woman named Junoon, are determined to put the Brahmāstra together again. Meanwhile, Shiva, who's in Mumbai, is getting these disturbing visions of Junoon and her sidekicks. He soon becomes embroiled in this battle of good and evil. At first, Shiva is a reluctant hero, but eventually he finds his inner warrior and fulfills his destiny. Does this sound familiar? Brahmāstra follows the classic hero's journey template described by scholar and mythologist Joseph Campbell, which basically provides the skeleton for many Hollywood films. Like Harry Potter, Shiva is an orphan. Like Harry, he's also the boy who lived, surviving a traumatic experience which killed a parent. Like Frodo in The Lord of the Rings, Simba in Lion King, or Neo in The Matrix, Shiva is forced to undertake a journey and overcome great odds, which then transforms him internally and externally. Brahmāstra has echoes of countless Western fantasy narratives. Apart from Harry Potter, visuals and plot points might remind you of The Chronicles of Narnia, Fate, The Winx Saga, Avatar, The Last Airbender, Game of Thrones, and Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. The Brahmāstra itself feels like it belongs to the same family as the Infinity Stones from the Avengers films and the Horcrux from the Harry Potter films. There's even a touch of Star Wars. But Ayan's masterstroke is that he grounds these tropes in a desi setup. From scenes set along the Ganga Ghats to the training montage in the song Deva Deva, this is very much a homegrown fantasy. Brahmāstra also leans into the themes of choosing Roshni over darkness and the transformative power of love. It's a busy plot. Ayan uses voiceover and reams of exposition to constantly bring us up to speed. At one point, a character talks about being confused by what's happening, almost as if the director had anticipated a similar reaction from the viewers. The constant explanations flatten out the storytelling considerably, and Brahmāstra never hits the high notes of that opening again. But the fatal flaw is the banal characters. An epic saga of good versus evil is only as good as the villain. Mouni Roy with digitized red eyes has little of the menace or the personality that this part required. And her sidekicks are even more forgettable. They just keep shouting and attacking again and again. This generic writing also extends to the leads. Ranbir Kapoor and Alia Bhatt are 2 of the finest actors working today. But Shiva and especially Isha have little depth or specificity. All we know about Isha is that she's this rich girl from London who, like the Konkona Sen Sharma character in Wake Up Sid or the Deepika Padukone character in Tamasha, becomes a catalyst in the growth of a Ranbir Kapoor character. This is Ayan's third film with Ranbir. The first two, Wake Up Sid and Ye Jawani Hai Diwani, were essentially coming-of-age movies, and in a sense, so is this one. Shiva has a tremendous arc. He goes from a happy-go-lucky city boy to a bona fide superhero. The second half presents intriguing ideas about how his superpower can also perhaps become his weakness. Like Edward Cullen in the Twilight movies, Shiva is afraid to be with Isha because he might burn her. But the ache of this isn't explored fully. Their journey doesn't have enough emotional resonance. The two actors are beautiful together, especially in composer Preetham and lyricist Amitabh Bhattacharya's sublime song Kesariya, but beauty can only take you that far. Mr. Bachchan is well cast as the wise elder statesman, but it's a role we've seen him play often enough. I enjoyed watching the charismatic Nagarjuna, who I hope we will see in more Hindi films after this. What is consistently solid in Brahmāstra is the VFX by D-Neg and Redefine. The film was shot over nearly 4 years with 5 cinematographers: V. Manikandan, Pankaj Kumar, Sudeep Chatterjee, Vikash Nolakha, and Patrick Dorough. But the visual quality doesn't wobble. The 3D and special effects are staggering. In one battle, this character is shooting neon green arrows which then become twisting snakes. And watch how Shiva becomes adept at handling Agni in Deva Deva. It's just gorgeous. But as S.S. Rajamouli, who Ayan cites as a major influence, has taught us, for dazzling action and spectacle to work, it must be rooted in grand emotion, which is missing here. To make up, the background score by Preetham, with Jim Satya, Prasad S, Megdeep Bose, Tanuj Tikku, Ketan Sodha and Sunny MR just kicks into overdrive. This is a loud film. There is oodles of talent, money and sweat in every frame of Brahmāstra. Will I be in line for part 2? Absolutely. But I hope in the next film, Ayan constructs his vast fantasy on stronger scaffolding. For the Astraverse to become as groundbreaking as the MCU, the script needs to be as sparkling as the special effects. Would I recommend it to a friend? I would, because there is ambition, it is breaking new ground. Just manage your expectations. Our giveaway today is a film companion mug autographed by Alia Bhatt. To win it, you have to tell me any 3 characters from Hollywood fantasy films that I've referenced in my review. Tell us in the comments below and we'll be in touch with the winner.